Hi, I'm Felicity, and I'm from our university recruiting team here at Microsoft. If you're watching this, you're probably getting ready for an upcoming interview for one of our business functions. This video will provide you with the tools and resources you need to put your best foot forward in the interview process. I'm joined here today with a colleague I'm excited to introduce, Berlandi.
Thank you, Felicity. Hi, I'm Berlandi, and I sit on our MBA recruiting team. I'm excited to introduce another special guest joining us virtually today, Javier. He is a well-seasoned interviewer from our business, and he is here to help prepare you.
Hello everyone, I am Javier, and I work as a Chief of Staff in our Azure Solution business team at Microsoft. I've been with Microsoft for about 13 years, and I am passionate about developing career talent. I am excited to help you prepare today.
It's great to have you here, Javier. Here's what we'll be covering today.
All right, let's get going. At Microsoft, we're passionate about our mission and culture. We're excited to see how you connect with us in your interview. Our mission is to empower every person and organization to achieve more, and we have 5 cultural pillars to guide our efforts. First, we have growth mindset. You're always learning and challenging yourself. We're one Microsoft. You're inclusive and you're here to work as a part of a team. We're customer obsessed. You're listening, asking questions, and anticipating customer needs. We're diverse and inclusive. You're making sure everyone has a seat at the table, getting fresh perspectives, and celebrating differences. Lastly, we're making a difference. You're part of a bigger picture, working with purpose on things we care about. So, Javier, do you have any tips for these candidates when thinking about our mission and culture?
Yes, a great way to shine in interviews is to think of how you can showcase your accomplishments, your projects, and work within this framework of our values.
You may be asking yourself, what roles are included within business functions? Well, we hire for sales, finance, marketing, operations, and so much more. These functions are critical to how we run our business, go to market with our technologies, and support our customers. No matter what function you're interviewing for, a similar interview structure and question style will be applied. You may also be asked scenario-based questions that can relate to current challenges or work that the team is facing. This is so that the interviewer can see your problem-solving approach and your thought process. Remember, you may also be considered for multiple teams within the broader business function you're interviewing for.
At Microsoft, we're looking for what you as an individual can bring to our teams and your diverse perspective and skill set.
I'll now hand it over to Berlandi to speak about the interview structure.
All right, let's now discuss the interview structure that applies to both first and final round remote and in-person interviews. The first round is typically 30 minutes and conducted virtually, usually via the phone. The final round interviews are 45 minutes each, and you will have 3 to 4 interviews. Each interview will have a start, middle, and an end. This is what you can expect at each of these stages. At the start, you can expect to spend about 5 to 10 minutes here. This is where you'll be introducing yourself and building rapport with your interviewer. In the middle, you can expect to spend about 20 to 25 minutes here. You will be asked a series of behavioral style questions. We're looking at how you demonstrate any skills and experiences you've learned and how they may apply to the role. The end. You can expect to spend about 5 to 10 minutes here. You will wrap up and be prepared to ask the interviewer meaningful and thoughtful questions about the role or Microsoft. Structuring your examples can help provide depth and breadth in your responses. We recommend using a model such as STARS. I'll pass it over to you, Javier, to walk through this model.
I'm going to share with you the STARS model to structure your examples and then share some tips on how you could apply this to a sample interview question. STARS stand for situation, task, action, result, reflection, and strengthen. The situation is where you would outline the problem statement and set the context. The task is where you outline what you had to do and your role. Keep in mind any overarching goals and people you may have needed to work with and their roles. The action is what you did step by step. How did you solve the problem? And where did you need to collaborate, influence others, make difficult decisions, or use data? The results is what impact you made after the project or task completion. It is ideal to be able to have your results quantifiable, but if your impact wasn't measurable, that is still okay. Remember how your impact contributed to the broader success of the team or organization. Reflection is looking back on what you did. Were there opportunities to improve or learnings that you had through the experience? Strengthening is looking forward to how you would apply your learnings for future situations and what your recommendations would be. I'll share a sample question and my recommendation for approach to answering. You may get a similar question to this. Describe a time when you had difficulty determining the needs of a customer to provide them with a product or service that met their expectations. Remember, a customer doesn't have to be someone you're selling something to. It could be your manager or your professor. Set the situation and context to describe why it was difficult meeting the customer's needs. Talk about the action you took to meet them and the result and the impact. Don't forget to spend a good amount of time discussing what you learned and how you can apply it into a future situation. And remember, if you're short on time, the most valuable areas to focus on are result, reflection, and strengthen.
Thank you, Javier. We are now coming to the end of our interview prep. So let's go through some frequently asked questions. Here are a couple of key takeaways from this preparation video. Do your research on Microsoft and bring your passion to the interviews. Being prepared will help you put your best foot forward and impact how you show up. It's critical to prepare a variety of different examples beforehand and get comfortable with talking about your impact in a structured and concise way, while also being able to provide depth within your example, as opposed to just surface level answers.
With that, we'd like to thank you, Javier, for sharing some great advice today.
Of course, happy to be here. We wish you the best with your interview experience with us.
To wrap up, let's hear from some of our recent hires on their tips for the interviews.
When I was preparing for my interview for Microsoft, my research was focused in two categories. Company, where I looked into financial statements, company's culture, and role specific to understand more about the role.
Microsoft is very big on growth mindset, right? So I want you all to please bring the soft skills that you all learned in college, bring that to the interview, apply that to the questions that you all are asked.
I read about Microsoft's mission, values, and product strategy.
You want to find the overlap between the experiences you have and what is important at the job.
I reflected on my own professional experiences and interests to prepare my interview responses in alignment with Microsoft's core values. Best of luck.
We hope this information helps you in your interviews, and we wish you all the best.